Hi, this is going to be a quickie. Uh, First, I want to start it off with I have a lot of friends that are dear to my heart that are going through some really tough times. And I'm praying hard for all my friends that are going through stuff. Um, I hope that and pray that the Lord answers my prayers, which I believe He will. This thinking positive stuff. I know I've gotten quite a few messages, and I appreciate from all of you. And about my videos being a little depressing. Well, this is reality. This is real life. Sometimes you just don't have the head space or the mental or physical to just be running around the kitchen making crazy videos, singing and dancing. Although I love all that, but sometimes other stuff is just more important, you know? It's reality. I I use this often. I look at life, especially through hard times. Look at life as like, say you're standing in your backyard, and your backyard is completely fenced. 4 panels of fencing, pure square, right? And you're in the middle. And one of those panels comes down. Sucks, but you can pretty much, you're like, all right, well, I gotta fix the fence. So you can get the energy to fix that one panel of fence. But when you're in the middle of that yard, and one panel's down, and then the second, and the third, and the fourth, and all these panels are down, and you're just in the middle, it's overwhelming. And you're kind of sitting in the middle of all of it, like this. You don't know where to start. You don't know what panel to start with. Sometimes you get so overwhelmed that you just don't do anything. You just don't do anything. That's how I've been feeling. I feel like all my panels are down. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not blessed. And, because I am. I'm blessed in a lot of ways. And I'm grateful for all my blessings that I do have. But there's some serious struggles going on, man. I'm worried about loved ones. We're like a piece of pie. Our world is like a piece of pie. You can only cut it into so many slices. And that piece of pie represents your heart and your brain. You can only cut it so many slices. You give so many away, you keep some for yourself. But in the end, you end up with this empty pie tray with no more pie to give to anybody, not even to yourself. That alone makes me nuts. So I just got a lot going on. Worried about a lot of things. Concerned about a lot of things. Concerned and worried about a lot of peeps. Concerned and worried about myself. I do go back to work Thursday, and I've been out for about, I don't know, 3 months, close to 3 months. And Thursday morning I go back to work. And that itself is going to be a little challenging because I still don't feel myself. I still don't feel right. But you got to do what you got to do. You only allowed or allocated so much time Um, Whether you're feeling pain or not, you only got a small window to get back to work, so you make sure you maintain and keep your job, you know what I mean? So, the other thing is, you gotta be, I'm not gonna get into personal things, but I'm all twisted here. Must be my big boobs. One thing I want to mention that I had to do for myself yesterday and today. It's not the first time, obviously, but I had to advocate for myself. I didn't get what I was supposed to get. Now, if I was quiet as a mouse, I would have let it go, and I would have got screwed in the end. But I don't screw people, and I don't want anybody screwing me either. So I made sure I took care of my business, and I kept hounding these folks to take care of what they needed to take care of. Yes, I'm talking in circles because I'm trying to be general without getting my personal stuff out there. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is that if you have something coming to you, legitimately coming to you, advocate for yourself. Whatever it may be, whether it's finances, whether it's health, doctors, whatever it may be, you got to advocate for yourself. Because if you don't, nobody else will. You got to remember, you're not the only one on the planet. You're not the only one on these people's minds. So you got to remind them who you are. You got to remind them who you are. You got to sometimes fight even when you don't have the energy. But you got to do it, because if you don't, who the hell's going to do it? That's why I always say, take care of you. Take care of you. However you have to do it, you take care of you. The mind, the brain, the struggles. Some of us handle things better than others. I handle certain things better than I handle other certain situations. And I think we're all built like that. But some people, they don't let anything bother them. God bless them, man. They're lucky. Me, unfortunately, I'm the type that lets everything bother me. Oh, yeah, I do. I let everything bother me. And it affects me. Which sometimes makes it challenging to get through a day. I'm not saying I don't have my good days, and I'm not saying all that jazz, because I do. But lately, I've been in a funk. With good reason, though. With good reason. But make sure you take care of yourself. I say it for a reason. Do you realize how many people out there that are struggling with so much in their brain and in their heart for different reasons, and actually unaliving themselves? We can't let ourselves get to that point. We gotta, you know what I mean? So we just gotta fight the fight. It stinks. And it's hard some days. It's really hard some days. Some days it's easy. Some days you just can't catch a break. So take care of you. And grab smiles when you can. Till next time. Take care of you.